So now we'll start up with the third experiment, that is the experiment on rectifier. So to be more precise, it's a precision half wave and full wave rectifier. Okay, so let us go through what is the aim of this experiment. Okay, the aim is to design and simulate precision half wave and full wave rectifier. Okay, so again as we are interacting towards this simulation platform, our basic interest will be on simulation side. So simulation of precision half wave rectifier in this session. So I'll just go through what is my circuit diagram. So this is the circuit for precision half wave rectifier. Okay, so and this is a circuit for precision full wave rectifier, which is nothing but a precision half wave rectifier and an summer circuit wherein actual signal is one of its input and output of precision half wave rectifier is the other input to this summer circuit to produce a full wave rectifier. Okay, let me have a design. So first is to design a precision half wave rectifier wherein the input voltage applied to the circuit is 2.5 volts peak, and I want to achieve an output voltage of 5 volts. So this design statement should make the statement clear, saying that along with the rectification there is some amplification expected on the output signal. If I would have said the output voltage is 2.5 volts peak, it simply means that my output voltage and input voltage resemble each other. But now I am saying that my output voltage will be having, or I could say my output voltage is twice the time of the input. Okay, it simply means to say that along with the rectification there is some amount of the amplification involved in the circuit. Okay, so because of that reason you can find over here your R2 is 2 times that of R1. Okay, is it clear to you? So now once after having the specific equations to design the circuits, okay, so we'll go ahead interacting about simulation of a precision half wave rectifier. So this is the circuit for my precision half wave rectifier. So if I just go through the circuit, I can see what are all the components required. I could say I require an op amp and diodes, resistors, the biasing sources, and signal generator, and an oscillator. Okay, so let me open up my multisim simulation software. Okay, so by referring this particular circuit, I am able to identify what are all the components required. Okay, now I'll just have those components onto my canvas. Okay, okay, so now I'll initially go to place, click on component. So I do require VCC, so I'll just place it. I do require VEE, a negative supply, and I also require ground at certain instance. Then after that I do require some resistors, so I go to the basic. Okay, click on resistor and say OK over here. Then I do require a op amp which is available in analog, so 741 op amp. Okay, then I do require diodes, so I'll go into the diodes family. Over here I'll click on diodes, so 1N4007, a silicon diode, so I'll have that component. So along with this I do require 2 more instruments, a signal generator, also called as a function generator, and one more, it is an oscilloscope. Okay, so I'll just place this my key component op amp over here. to set up as a precision half rectifier. So I'll just flip it by saying flip vertical, so that I'll get my inverting terminal at the top, so it resembles to my circuit. Okay, then I'll just place my signal generator onto my input side, oscilloscope onto my output. Okay, so this is the negative biasing voltage. Okay, so negative terminal, so I need to have a negative biasing voltage over there. So this is the positive terminal, so I'll just flip it, or I could say rotate it more specifically. Okay, then later I'll just have a look out at my circuit to build the remaining part of the circuit. Okay, so if you see here, so it is nothing but an inverting amplifier, to be frankly speaking. So input is given to the inverting input terminal, so I'm having the inverting circuit. Then just to control the output voltage, I'm including this diode, so it allows only 1/2 of the signal. And to avoid the op-amp to go into saturation when the diode gets opened, I will be using this diode. Okay, so I can build the circuit now. So I will have this at my input terminal. Okay, and one more resistor as a feedback resistor over at top, and this I can use for my input. I do require one more resistor so that it maintains the biasing current at inverting and non-inverting the same. So I'll just rotate it so that I can connect it to my non-inverting terminal. Okay, I'll just take it at the top so that I can place my diode properly. Okay, so this diode I'll place it over here so that it allows only 1/2 of the output from the op-amp. I'll take a copy of that by pressing Ctrl C. I'll say Ctrl V, and now I'll just rotate it. Okay, so that this diode should come into the picture when this diode D1 gets open circuited. So when positive voltage comes, so this gets forward biased, but when negative voltage comes, when it gets reverse biased, this diode gets forward biased. Okay, then I can connect my resistance as a load resistance at this terminal. Okay, so I can have this ground so that I can measure the signals on my oscilloscope. Okay, I'll just copy this ground and place it at rotations or at locations where ground is required in the circuit. So this is one more ground. I'll just place it at the non-inverting terminal, and one more ground on the input side towards the signal generator. So I'll connect this input to one end of the resistor. Another end of the input, that is a ground, should go to the ground. Okay, I'll just place it properly so that circuit looks proper. Another end of the resistor will be connected to inverting terminal. Okay, then another end of this resistor goes to non-inverting, and this resistor goes to the ground. Okay, then let me build my inverting amplifier first. So this resistor will be connected between the inverting terminal and an output terminal. Okay, an inverting terminal and an output terminal, somewhat like this. Okay, so this is how is the circuit. Okay, so this is how is the circuit. Then I need to connect this diode from this terminal and connect another terminal to the resistance, from this resistance to the ground, and connect this diode over here. Okay, so I can say that this is connected at this terminal, and this is connected over here. Okay, then I need to just give this biasing terminals over here. So I'll be connecting this pin number 4 to this negative biasing voltage, and pin number 7 to this positive biasing source. Okay, let me have this load resistance. Okay, I can just adjust it with the help of arrow keys. Okay, so once the circuitry is ready to me, then I can connect my oscilloscope. I'll connect this two terminals over here and connect this ground terminal and use my channel A to see what's the signal from my signal generator, and channel B to see what is the signal from my op-amp circuit. Okay, now once this circuitry is ready, I need to just fine-tune the circuit as per my design. Okay, so I'll just refer my design. So my R1 is 4.7K, R1 is 4.7K, then my R2 is 9.4K, that's a feedback resistance. So this is 9.4K, then this is minus 12 plus 12, so this is minus 12, and this is plus 12. Okay, then next I need to go to this resistance, which is 3.3K. I'll go to this resistance, which is 3.3K. Then lastly left out is a load resistance. I'm not shown over here, but you can include it in a circuit, not a problem. So you can just show that the load resistance is around 10K or 1K as such. Okay, some high value you can show. Okay, so once you have set this, you should also make sure that you have designed it for a certain condition or a constraint. So here I define your input voltage has to be 2.5 volts peak. So it means I need to click on my function generator. So let me say let this signal be 1 kilohertz. Okay, amplitude I'll set it to 2 volts peak. Okay, 2 volts peak, which is being defined in the 2.5 volts peak. So this is 2.5 volts peak. Okay, so with this circuit, let me simulate the circuitry which has been designed on the canvas. Okay, so I'll just click on run the simulation, so I can see over here. So I'll just increase the time for division. Okay, I'll show you by signal or channel to channel. So this is my input signal. Okay, this is my input signal. Okay, so if you want to see something in terms of lesser volts, so you can see over here. So it's almost 2.5 volts. So this is 1 volts per division. So it's 1, 2 and 2.5. So 2.5 volts peak is the signal voltage. Okay, then I'll just make my input signal 0, and I want to see what's my output. So you can see here my output is 1/2 of my input signal. Okay, and I can simply say over here, so this is 5 volts. So if you want to set it to 1 volts as such, then you can easily understand that I'm able to get this output voltage over here. Okay, so this is 2 volts, 4 volts, and so this has been amplified to 5 volts as such. Okay, so this is for this simulation. Thank you.